From the Samson Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSP TV and the Standard Speaker.
Coming up tonight on News 13, live at 5, firefighters learned early this morning what dog food smells like on fire. And it wasn't a pleasant scent. Flames broke out inside a machine at a plant in our area that makes pet food. News 13 was there in Humboldt. But first, a man in Freeland is arrested for searching child pornography on his computer. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I'm Kristen Bazinski. Investigators say he's been coaching a kids' street hockey team for 6 years now, and today was arrested for having images of child pornography on a computer and for searching for the illegal images online. Freeland police, state troopers, and Luzerne County detectives searched this Freeland home early today at 717 Walnut Street. That's where they found 21-year-old David Kish Jr. Kish coaches a local street hockey team for 6 to 12-year-olds and admitted to investigators that he has downloaded images of child pornography showing kids as young as 12 years old. Kish said he would search words like porn and teens, young, hardcore, and fetish, and that once he would get the images, most he would delete, although some he transferred to his PlayStation, including adult pornography. Investigators searched computers in the house and were able to locate pictures of pornography involving children, and Kish was arrested. Kish does have a Drums address and says the computers he was using at the Freeland home were his sister's 2 laptops and a desktop. The internet service is also in another man's name who is listed as a resident at that Walnut Street address. No word on Kish's connection to the Freeland residence. Investigators were led to Kish after a detective for the Delaware County District Attorney's Office Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force was conducting an online investigation. No word tonight if Kish's coaching for the Hazleton area street hockey team will be affected by his arrest today. Tonight, Kish is a free man awaiting his next day in court. Well, the smell of anything burning isn't pleasant, but imagine the smell of burning dog food. That's the scent that filled the air at the Vitaline Company in the Humboldt Industrial Park this morning after a motor in a silo holding dog food caught fire. News 13 on scene just after 7 o'clock this morning as firefighters put out that blaze. Firefighters tell us a motor caught fire inside a silo holding the dog food and quickly spread into the silo itself. The Vitaline Company, located on North Park Road, packs the dog food to be shipped out. Now, because it was a large plant, Hazel Township crews called in some additional help, and Chief Scott Castician wanted to be on the safe side in case it spread any further. Crews were on location here in Hazel Township for about an hour and a half today. Luzerne County District judges learned in a closed-door meeting last week with President Judge Thomas Burke that one office could close as a money-saving measure. Judge Burke said in a news release Tuesday that the Freeland court, run by Judge Jerry Feisner, could be the victim of redistricting. Feisner has been making rulings out of that office for 30 years now. Judge Burke was directed by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court to draw up a plan to save money. There are 550 magisterial judges across the state, and every 10 years, the Supreme Court redistricting occurs with the hope of cutting about 10% of the offices. As for Feisner, there are rumors that he may be retiring in the near future. News 13 was unable to confirm that with the judge today due to a busy court schedule, although we did try meeting with him. Feisner's office, which serves Freeland, Foster Township, Whitehaven, and Jetto, has a low-case workload, and the 17 judges in the county were analyzed for how busy they are by Burke. Should Feisner's office close, his territory would then be split amongst other offices nearby, like Judge Dan O'Donnell's office in Butler and Judge Jamie Dixon's office in Hazel Township. Judge Burke is taking public comment on the proposed redistricting plan. You can send your comments to Kathy Hubbard, Special Courts Administrator at the Luzerne County Courthouse, 200 North River Street in Wilkes-Barre. That zip code is 18711, or email to khubbard@LuzerneCountyCourts.com. He's no stranger to the Hazleton Area School District, and come August, he will officially be the leader. Dr. Francis X. Antonelli got the job of superintendent after a unanimous vote by the school board. Here's a recap.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes. to thank the board for their support. I feel truly privileged to have the opportunity to serve this board and to work with our wonderful students, teachers, our vast support group, and our taxpayers who so conscientiously attend each and every meeting, and yes, for many, many years.
Antonelli has been in the superintendent's seat since being named acting superintendent when Sam Marolo left on a controversial paid leave of absence. But Marolo will not be returning, and at the end of his contract, which is August of this year, Antonelli will slide right into the permanent seat for at least the next 3 years. His right-hand man was also named last night by the board. Also, someone familiar with the day-to-day operations of the school district, Don Basic, the district's director of elementary and middle schools, was promoted to assistant to the superintendent. It's a 1-year renewable contract. Since Antonelli and Basic took over the district's top jobs, board members say the two are a winning team.
To be honest with you, when I ran for election, I thought that the job should have been posted and we should have went through the process. I've been here for 3 months. Dr. Antonelli and Mr. Basic have picked up the work where we had 5 central office administrators. We've cut it to 2. When I saw the amount of work they've done, how efficiently they've done it, how well they've done it, there's no question in my mind that both of those gentlemen should be retained by our district for as long as they like to be here. We're going through a transition stage where we're starting a magnet school, opening another K-8 building. With all of that coming online, I think it's important to have people who are familiar with both of those and put them in place.
Now, Dr. Antonelli told the crowd that he is pleased to have an excellent assistant by his side with the appointment of Basic, and that the two have a lot of work to get done in moving the district forward, both short and long term. News 13 also learned that the board will go ahead and advertise for a deputy superintendent, a position now vacant with the promotion of Antonelli and Basic. In other news coming out of the Hazleton area school district, a new demerit system could keep teens from getting behind the wheel of a car next time they get in trouble inside their school. It's something that is being done in West Virginia. If students can't behave in school by fighting, selling drugs, smoking in bathrooms, or just plain antisocial actions, they could lose their privilege to drive a car. School Director Dr. Bob Childs is the one who proposed the demerit system to the rest of the board. High school Principal Rocco Petrone has been given the go-ahead to organize and implement it. Childs believes kids need to be held accountable for their actions. Former teacher and one of the newest members of the school board, Robbie Wallace, agrees.
I think we really have to take a look at our alternative education program and how it's changed over the course of time. And I think we need to reevaluate what we're doing. I think we have to have some place that we can take kids who are troubled children or having a bad day in school or an emotional outburst, and there should be a place that they can go out of the classroom, not to be disruptive in the classroom, and still get an education. I know in the past we had rooms available where we had teachers and aides there who kept the students in an in-school suspension program that worked very well. And for some children, it was a couple days. For some, it was just a class period or 2. And I think that's something we have to evaluate. And I think, we have to take a look at the attendance policy and people coming in late. There has to be some accountability somewhere, along the line there besides just your 7 absences. And I think the demerit system Dr. Childs talked about and putting Mr. Petrone in charge of it to come up with something does have some merit, but we have to see how it plays out. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but something has to be done.
Also in West Virginia, if students do not finish high school, they lose their driving privileges for 1 year. The demerit system is not in effect here in Hazleton. The board is simply in the planning stages and will wait for feedback from Principal Petrone after he organizes and plans out the system to hold students responsible for any antisocial actions inside the school. Unwanted artwork is becoming a big problem in parts of downtown Hazleton. Symbols and words spray painted all over buildings in the area of Laurel and Green Streets and Spruce Alley. The tagged properties were targeted over the weekend, and while some of the graffiti was already cleaned up, you can still see it, and more keeps appearing each day. Graffiti has long been a problem in the greater Hazleton area, but police are hoping whoever decided to decorate the downtown buildings were caught on camera. Hazleton City now has over 30 cameras all around downtown, and some are indeed located in that area. We know police are reviewing footage now and hoping to put a name with a face to locate the artist or artists. While some graffiti is innocent, just kids fooling around, graffiti is usually the first indication that street gang activity is present in your community. Sometimes drug dealers advertise narcotics with graffiti, and it's also used to market territory or turf of a certain gang. If you know anything about this unwanted artwork, or if you see graffiti in your neighborhood, make sure you call police immediately. All right, stay with us tonight. More news is coming your way. Are women more at risk for a heart attack? We'll have that information a little later. Also ahead is Ash Wednesday, and Christians everywhere are celebrating the start of the Lenten season. More on the holy day coming up.
News 13 is a wonderful source. It's the best source for our community.
When members of the community ever need any information on what's happening locally, Channel 13 is a great place to turn to.
I enjoy watching local News 13 to keep up on all of the events going on in the greater Hazleton area.
News 13 does great coverage.
Anything you want to know, just put Channel 13 on.
We love Channel 13!
Workers at Hazleton General Hospital took advantage of the warmer weather this week to install a new identification sign at the entrance to the hospital campus, along with new directional signage on hospital grounds. The new sign was the last piece to complete the hospital's front entrance renovation project, which began last summer. PennDOT will install a traffic light at the hospital's entrance as part of the Broad Street Corridor widening project sometime in the upcoming months. What a bright idea by PPL Electric Utilities. Just announced electricity rates will continue to fall for Pennsylvania utility customers. It's a 10.7% decline in the default rate paid by residential customers who do not select an alternate power supplier. It knocks the price to 6.9 cents per kilowatt hour and will be effective March 1st. PPL's announcement will likely trigger price resetting from competitive suppliers. According to a current list of prices offered to new customers from suppliers doing business in the PPL service area, prices can be seen as high as 8.9 cents. For small business customers, the price to compare will be 6.4 cents per kilowatt hour, compared with 6.8 cents per kilowatt hour. The price drop is being driven down by abundant and inexpensive natural gas. A PPL spokesman says natural gas is driving electricity prices in the way that coal used to. While natural gas generation is still a modest slice of overall generation capacity, it's the one that sets the market price. Coming up tomorrow, a Sam Lassant show you won't want to miss as he sits down with Congressman Lou Barletta, Senator John Udechak, and FBI Supervisory Specialist Agent Daryl Dones. Join them as they discuss gang awareness, what to look for, what you can do to protect yourself, and how you can help catch violent gang members. The Sam Lassant show airs Thursday at 7 and again at 8. On your screen right now, your winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you played today. Your daily number 228, Big 43386, Quinto 41363, and Treasure Hunt 5, 6, 11, 12, 26.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town, an all-you-can-eat spaghetti dinner. This is sponsored by the Freeland Police Association. This will be held February 25th at the Freeland VFW. Takeouts and deliveries between 2 and 3 p.m., and then from 3 to 6 are sit-down dinners. The cost is $6 for adults, seniors over 55 are $5, and kids 5 through 18 are only $4. You can get your tickets at Video Mania, Rizzuto's, the Freeland Municipal Authority, or by calling Bob Quinn Jr. at 570-956-1371. And that's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 extends our deepest sympathies to the family and friends of these recently departed. Evelyn Rose Chrisman of Hazleton. The funeral will be held Saturday at 11 a.m. for the St. John's Lutheran Church. The Cropton Hughes Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Teresa A. Stever of Hazleton. The funeral services will be held Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for the John J. Pustay Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 4 to 7 p.m. Andrew J. Sukal Jr. of Pryor, Missouri. The funeral will be held Friday at 9:30 a.m. for the John J. Pustay Funeral Home. Friends may call Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. Mary M. Serban of Harwood. Services will be held at Fridays, 11 a.m. from the St. Mary's Byzantine Catholic Church. John E. Stevens of Kendall Park, New Jersey. Memorial services will be held Friday at 7 p.m. from the M.J. Murphy Funeral Home. Anna Teresa Bedding of Junedale. The arrangements are under the direction of the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. And Mary Smarr of Hazleton. The arrangements are under the direction of the Firo Funeral Home. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop on 15th Street in Hazleton. The palm crosses are in. Order yours today. Palm crosses are $5.50 and decorated crosses are $8.50. Get yours before Palm Sunday, April 1st. Call 570-454-0111. And by Mia's. Don't settle for the second best when dining out. Discover Mia's new low-price dinner menu for 2012. Remember, there's plenty of free parking behind the Markle building. Please check us out on the web at miasrestaurant.com or follow us on Facebook.
For this week's District Newsmaker, our Jasmine Brooks stopped by Arthur Street Elementary School to meet with one of the foster grannies there. Her name is Miss Mary Lou, and the students and staff say she gives the school a more homey feeling. Whether it's making the coffee, delivering goodies, or helping children with reading and math, this foster granny is always willing to help and is a true asset to the staff.
Well, I'm really excited for this week's District Newsmaker. I am here at Arthur Street Elementary School with a foster grandparent. Now, she has been the foster grandparent here for 10 years. I introduce to you Miss Mary Lou. Hello, how are you today?
Fine, very good, things fine.
Now, Miss Mary Lou, you have been here for 10 long years. Tell me why you enjoy being a foster grandparent.
Being with the children, and I'm happy that they're learning something, that I can teach them something. I mean, I go over work with them, with the spelling. I do math with them, and many other things that I do over here.
And speaking of many other things, the staff tells me you go above and beyond all your duties, helping out in the cafeteria and with the coffee. Tell me about some of that stuff.
Well, I enjoy going down with the children at the lunchtime to see that they behave and they eat their food and we don't waste anything. And I just enjoy being with the children.
Now, I have to read you this quote from Miss Morgan, the principal here. She says, at 77, Miss Mary Lou has the energy of a teenager. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I'll tell you what, I thank, if I may say it, I thank God for all that. And I love being here at Arthur Street. I love all the teachers. They're wonderful here. I have to say, we all get along. We're like a family. And that's why I like being here at Arthur Street. It's like family.
Now, you have been with Miss Urick's first grade class for 8 of those years.
No, I would say going for 7 years. 7 years. With her, yes. And 2 years with another teacher. And then I was 1 year at a foster grandparent at early intervention.
Okay. So why the first grade? Why is that maybe your favorite?
Well, where Mrs. Urick goes, I go if she wants me. Because she's a wonderful teacher. We got along fine. We're like a team.
Yeah.
Just like the whole Arthur Street, we're like a team here. So I feel at home, and we get along very well. And she puts up with me.
So what are your future plans? How long would you like to be a foster grandparent?
As long as I can.
You really enjoy it?
Very, very much. Very much. I love it. Okay. I love being with the children. It's an asset, really. When you're with the kids, I even feel young.
Now, let me ask you, if someone out there is watching and they say, hey, I'd like to get involved and be a foster grandparent myself, can they? How do they do that?
They get in touch with Mary Lou Zerfoss in Wilkes-Barre. I have a number that I can give to them, but I don't have it.
We'll get that. We'll get that
later on. And they can just say that they heard it on Channel 13 about foster grandparents, and they'll give all the information from her, or either Miss Mary Lou Zerfoss or Kathy Dwyer, either one of them.
And is it something you would recommend?
Definitely. Okay. Definitely. And they'll feel good about it if they join.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you so much for your time. So for this week's District Newsmaker, I'm Jasmine Brooks, and I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Thanks so much to all the ladies in that piece there. Well, today was a nice, bright, sunny day, and it looked more like June than February. Although it was a little windy, but it was the nicest day in a while. As we take a look at the Freeland Public Park, let's see what Mother Nature has in store for us over the next 24 hours. And we'll head outdoors right now. Cloudy skies with a low down to 36 degrees for your evening. There is a chance of rain and snow coming our way, and that chance sticks with us for your Thursday as the clouds remain. But once again, a mild day here in Greater Hazleton with a high up to 46 degrees. Will the mild weather last through the upcoming weekend? We'll check it out coming up live at 5:30. But first, bringing you tonight's forecast. Just windows and much, much more. Get the early bird savings on windows and doors. Visit www.justwindowsandmore.com and click on promotions. Just Windows and much, much more on First Street in Freeland. Call 636-1133. Well, we know car seats and boosters are important for all young kiddos to wear, but what about those who may be a little older, a little bigger, or a little heavier? They need to be safe too, and now more than ever before, manufacturers are making more car seats and boosters designed to keep those children safer on our roadways. A new crash test dummy has also been created to evaluate child safety seats and boosters for children who weigh 65 pounds or less. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration unveiled the new dummy on Tuesday and will use it to make sure new booster seats and restraints for larger kids meet new standards. Those standards will take effect come 2014. Now, because there are a growing number of seats for the larger children who typically range in age from 8 to 12, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration felt the time was right for federal safety standards. The test dummy, known in government speak as the Hybrid 3 10-year-old child test dummy. The test dummy weighs 78 pounds and will be used to check child seats and safety restraint systems for children weighing between 66 and 80 pounds in crash tests. A little history for you. The government began requiring tests of child seats in 1979 with a 6-month-old child and a 3-year-old child, and has expanded the number and sizes of crash test dummies as new state-of-the-art models have become available. Unfortunately, previous child dummies were limited to dummies representing 6-year-olds. Not anymore. The new dummy will capture the risk of injuries using head and knee excursions as well as chest acceleration. Manufacturers will have 2 years to certify their higher weight car seats and boosters to meet the new requirements. The updated child seat guidance recommends that children ride in a booster seat until they are big enough to fit in a seat belt properly, which is typically when the child is somewhere between 8 to 12 years old and about 4 feet 9 inches tall. Hope you got all that. All right, more news is coming your way on News 13 Live at 5:30. Today is Ash Wednesday, the start of the Lenten season. We'll stop by one local church that we headed to this afternoon. Plus, Freddie B's in with a lot of basketball news, and he has the latest on where 2 football players will continue their education. And remember, you can find everything Hazleton at ssptv.com. We'll see you in a bit for your Live at 5:30. Stay with us.